I was telling you that, of course, I was raised dairy products and stuff like that. We had farms and horses and all that kind of stuff. So we all drank milk. And we were always stopped up, me and my grandmother in particular. And we were using nose drops to breathe and stuff like that. And I had migraines all the time, and one bull crap answer from a medical doctor after another. Jesus. You have to understand that certain foods have a mucosic response. And that mucosic response is mucus. And we all get full of that when we consume something or breathe something that is antagonistic to the mucosa, in other words, predominantly acidic. Your body doesn't do well with the ingestion of acids and acid-forming foods. So I was kind of leading up and thinking about this morning about fasting, because a lot of people do different levels of fasting. And some people need to fast. Some people fast when they shouldn't. So you have to kind of be smart when you're doing things like this, because the average person is so dehydrated, so full of this mucus, so full of acids, that when you start initially going after this, you can feel it. You get cold and flu-like symptoms. Your sinus breaks loose. Mucus comes out. You see mucus in the stool, mucus in the urine, coughing up mucus out of the bronchi, lungs, voice box, out of your 5 tonsils. So it's always wise to prep for a fast. And we talked about this a little bit, but if you're going on an extended fast of more than, I'd say, any fast really, even 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, small little fast, you want to prepare yourself by getting all the proteins, all the grains, beans, dead animals, mucus foods, cheeses, milks. You want all that out of your gut, and you want to start preparing yourself for the fast. So you want to be as clean in the gut as possible, and the cleanest food in the gut is always fruit. So as you move toward your fast, you want to, depending how long you plan on going, you want to prepare for that. If you're going for 10-day fast, I'd take the week before and just go all raw. And then a few days before that, I'd go all fruit. See how my bowels are moving? Because a lot of times on a fast, you'll shut right down, boop, right? And you don't want to have putrid matter in your gut, or you'll get headaches and all kinds of things like that. You could anyway, but still. So the preparation for a fast, and even more so for a dry fast. That's just the way it is. If you're going to join the Naked and Afraid group, you better do some fasting and learn how to go without eating for 2 or 3 weeks. Then you have no problem. You don't have to go kill and eat bugs and stuff like that to get your protein, because you won't need it, because the energy. A lot of people don't realize that, but sometimes you have more energy without eating than you do with eating. When you have more energy not eating than eating, then that food you're eating is not giving you any energy. So many times. I told you one time I had a big salad for lunch. I had a whole afternoon of clients, and I was about to fall asleep on the salad. By the way, I cracked a mango. I have one more off of that tree, and I have about 4 more hanging. They're about this big. I don't even know what kind they are, and I cracked my first one this morning. Oh, God, that's why I'm in nirvana this morning. But I can't put my finger on the flavor. The other one I showed you is like a cocktail, pineapple, fruit, mango. But this one, I thought this one was maybe the pineapple, but I can't tell. Can't tell yet. But anyway, it's always smart when you're going after your health issues. Some of you need to fast. I would never fast right off. For an example, you would never fast someone like that. And yet she needs it badly. But keep in mind why she's there. And we call that lymphatic. We call that kidney and adrenals. We can also hiccup the skin and thyroid. And you can't just go on a fast when your kidneys are not filtering. We didn't know that 50 years ago. The natural hygienic people, you just go into the natural hygienic and they just put you on a water fast, and they use the tongue, the pinkness of the tongue, to determine when to stop. Because your tongue's going to get coated for the most part when you start not eating. You start seeing, when you're not eating, you start to see the astringent effects of that. You really do. You start to see that because you start to get, your mucosa starts oozing out nasty stuff, white stuff, depending on the person and how toxic you are. I've seen people with almost black tongues. and just oozing stuff from the mucosa, and that's in the gut, that's on the bowel wall. The body is now trying to get rid of. So this is why fasting is an astringent issue. But you have to also understand that the body has a consciousness, not only cellularly, but as a unit. And so it's just in its mechanism to release, obviously, in an alkaline environment. It's an anionic effect. Holding is a cationic effect. So you're in the process of releasing and detoxifying and letting go and cleaning these mucus and acids and things like this out of the body, all these heavy metals, all these toxic chemicals that are in everything. The plastics, I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, humans are unbelievable. But that's just where this scale is right now on this particular planet. And humans are, I don't know. If you look back, these human-style beings don't seem to last that long. But always prepare yourself when you're going to go without eating. But the benefits of fasting is obvious. We did that fasting for what's his name, and I don't know how successful he was with that. But when we filmed that, I think he wanted me to say that fasting cures everything. And the problem is, you don't take someone emaciated, highly acidic, not filtering, and fast them. Where's everybody going? See, and that's the one thing they didn't realize back in the natural hygienic thing, is that we're suffering from agglomulation. We're suffering from a cationic environment. They're just thinking deficiencies. Fasting and even dry fasting. I've seen the benefits of short-term dry fasting, and some of you showed me the results of longer-term dry fasting. I'm not a recommender of long-term dry fasting. I think that's what got Hildy. You've got to understand, and I don't know if I have it here. Remember that finger show you that's got the lymphatic system in it? All the lymph system in that finger. Imagine all those pathways and micro pathways that exist throughout the body. And you're trying to get into these places that your finger's starting to curve, snap on you, or curve down. These pathways are agglomerated. And just think, your body has to open up these micro pathways. And where are we going to go? We're going to dump it back into the blood system? So man has to get with this. You got to get with the fact that the body has a sewer system, comes packing with it, and understand that. And when you get that, then you understand the whole world of diseases, the idiocy of that, and what you have to do to correct that. Because your consumption, what you bring into your body chemically, is everything to your physical experience. And for a medical cuckoo to say there's nothing about your diet. Now, if he says or she says there's nothing about your diet that causes diseases, they're absolutely right. But if they say that nothing about your diet is causing your symptoms, they're absolutely wrong.